Everyone thinks KFC's secret is hidden in its 11 herbs and spices. The red and white bucket, the Colonel's face, the recipe kept out of sight. They all point to the same idea: find the spice blend and you can copy the chicken. But that idea has one problem. The recipe has been rumored to have leaked, yet KFC still did not become easy to duplicate at scale. A list of spices only tells you what goes into the flour. It does not explain how to cook chicken quickly without drying it out, why the crust clings in those uneven ridges, or how the chicken stays warm before it reaches your table. So if the recipe is not the whole secret, where is the real one hiding? To understand that, go back to when fried chicken was not fast food yet. Let's get into it right here on Secrets of Simple Things. Fried chicken was too slow to be fast food. Fried chicken feels simple now because we are used to ordering it in minutes. But for most of its history, it was not built for speed. A piece of chicken is awkward to cook. The outside can brown quickly, even burn, while the inside still needs time to reach the bone. Rush it, and the crust looks done before the meat is safe or tender. Take your time, and you get better chicken. But not the kind people can grab while passing through town. That was the problem Harland Sanders faced in Corbin, Kentucky. In 1930, he began serving fried chicken to travelers from his gas station. People liked it, but a batch could take around 30 minutes, which made the chicken popular, not fast. Sanders was not only chasing a better recipe, he was chasing a different food experience. Good chicken, served fast enough for people already on the road. That is when a pressure cooker started to change what fried chicken could be. The pressure cooker changed the chicken. Fried chicken asks one piece of meat to do two opposite things at once. The crust needs heat. It has to dry out, brown, and become crisp before it turns greasy or heavy. The meat underneath needs patience. It has to cook through without losing too much moisture. In an open fryer, that balance is easy to miss. Too long, and the inside dries out. Too early, and the center may not be ready. Pressure frying changed that balance. When the lid locks and pressure builds, steam does not escape as freely as it would in a normal fryer. More moisture stays inside the chicken while the hot oil still works on the coating. The result is tender meat wrapped in a crust that still has bite. Pressure did not only reduce the time, it changed how the chicken held on to water. That solved fried chicken's central tension, a crisp outside without a dry inside. But if KFC only had the cooker, people would not recognize it from the first bite. The 11 spices became the legend. Once Sanders had a faster way to cook chicken, he still needed a flavor people could remember, so he kept refining the seasoning until it became the famous blend of 11 herbs and spices. That number became more than a recipe detail. It became part of the myth. The locked-away formula, the careful production, the feeling that no one outside the company truly knew the full mix. KFC has treated that blend as a serious secret. The spice mixture is said to be produced in separate parts before being combined, so no single supplier handles the whole formula from start to finish. That mystery is powerful. It gives people something to talk about while they eat something familiar. But the spices explain only one layer. They give KFC a flavor identity. They do not explain how millions of pieces can be coated, fried, held, packed, and served with a result people recognize. And the story becomes even more interesting when that secret was rumored to have slipped outside the vault. Even a leaked recipe couldn't explain everything. In 2016, Joe Ledington, a relative of Colonel Sanders, was reported to have shown an old handwritten recipe that looked surprisingly close to KFC's famous spice blend. Some people tested it and said the flavor came very close to the chicken sold today, For a normal brand, that sounds like a nightmare. If the recipe is the whole secret, the moment it appears on paper, the magic should be gone. But even if you have the list of spices, you still do not have KFC at scale. A recipe does not tell you how wet the chicken should be before it touches the flour, how the coating should be folded over the meat, how pressure changes moisture, or how long the chicken can sit before it stops tasting fresh. The spices mattered. The system made them useful. After the seasoning, something harder to copy remains: how the crust gets built. The breading was turned into a ritual. Most people think the crust comes from the flour. That is only half true. The same seasoned flour can create very different chicken depending on how it is applied. Too little moisture, and the coating will not hold. Too much, and it becomes heavy. Press too hard, and the crust can turn dense. Handle it too loosely, and it may flake off before the chicken reaches the fryer. So KFC turned breading into a ritual. The chicken is dipped in water first, not for flavor, but to give the flour something to cling to. Then the basket is shaken 7 times to drain the extra water. After that, each piece goes into the seasoned flour, where workers use a set pattern: 7 scoop and fold motions, followed by 7 lift and fold motions. The goal is not just to cover the chicken, it is to build a coating that is even, textured, and ready for pressure frying. Then comes another shake to remove the extra flour. It sounds small, almost too specific, but at chain scale, small differences become visible. A little too much water changes the coating. A careless fold changes the ridges. A rushed shake can leave the crust heavy instead of crisp. At KFC, breading is no longer just the cook's instinct. The flavor may begin with the spices, but the crust depends on movement, timing, moisture, and training. That is why the chicken can still feel hand-breaded. It is standardized, but not stamped flat. Workers still dip, fold, arrange, and check the pieces before they enter the fryer. Those uneven ridges make the crust feel built around the meat, not printed onto it. Consistency became the real product. A small restaurant can survive on one great cook. A fast food chain cannot. If thousands of workers in thousands of stores have to make chicken that feels familiar every time, talent is not enough. The process has to carry the flavor. Customers do not walk into KFC expecting a surprise. They expect the same crust, seasoning, and hot, salty bite they remember from the last visit. Not identical in a laboratory sense, but familiar enough that the brain recognizes it before the second bite. Fast food is not built on surprise. It is built on recognition. At chain scale, good is not enough. The food has to be repeatable. And that creates one more problem. Fried chicken is best right after it leaves the fryer, but customers are not always standing there at that exact second. The hardest part comes after frying. Most people think the job is done when the chicken comes out of the fryer. In reality, that is when the countdown begins. Leave fried chicken sitting in open air too long and it cools down. The meat starts losing moisture. The crust loses its sharp bite. Trap it in a closed container too early, and the problem flips. Steam softens the coating from the inside out. So KFC has to solve a strange problem. Keep the chicken warm without drying it out, and keep it moist without turning the crust soggy. That is where the hot holding unit comes in. The machine uses controlled heat and moisture to keep the chicken warm while slowing down how quickly it dries out. The chicken is held around 165 degrees Fahrenheit, with unsold pieces replaced after a set holding time. This quiet part of the operation protects the work done by the fryer. KFC's chicken does not only have to survive cooking, it has to survive waiting. Before it reaches the customer, it passes through one final detail that looks like branding, but also works like food engineering. The red and white bucket. The bucket was more than branding. The red and white bucket is instantly recognizable. You see the stripes, the Colonel's face, and your brain already knows what is inside. But for fried chicken, packaging is not just packaging. It has to deal with the same problem in a different form: steam. Too much trapped steam and the crust starts to soften. But if the package lets too much heat escape, the chicken cools too quickly, and the meal loses that freshly served feeling. The bucket has to sit between those two failures. Its paper design helps let some steam escape, while the vented lid keeps enough warmth inside. It does a delicate job, protecting the final texture before the customer opens it. With fried food, packaging does not just hold the meal, it decides how long the meal still feels fried. By the time the bucket reaches the table, the chicken has passed through a chain of heat, pressure, moisture, timing, training, and packaging. KFC didn't just make fried chicken, it made fried chicken repeatable. KFC did not invent fried chicken. Long before the Colonel, people were frying chicken in skillets, kitchens, diners, and family restaurants. What KFC changed was the way the dish could be served. Sanders made it faster with pressure. The seasoning made it recognizable. The breading ritual made it trainable. The holding unit helped it survive after frying. Even the bucket protected the texture until someone opened the lid. The customer sees chicken. Behind it, KFC is managing heat, moisture, timing, training, steam, and memory. The spices may be the part people want to uncover, but the system is the part that is harder to copy. So the next time you see a piece of KFC chicken, the most interesting thing may not be the 11 herbs and spices. It may be the invisible machine behind that familiar bite. If you enjoy finding the hidden systems behind everyday things, subscribe to Secrets of Simple Things. There are more simple objects, familiar foods, and small details around us that are not as simple as they look.